Disney is under the gun again, and this time it's public scrutiny for something that is absolutely vile, despicable, and disgusting. And that is an employee that was engaged in criminal behavior and has been caught by Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd. Now, for those who may not know Florida and Florida geography, I know that sometimes we throw out different county names. It sounds confusing, but Disney World lies at the nexus of really three separate counties. Orange County, which is to the north, which encompasses Orlando, Osceola, which encompasses the city of Kissimmee, it's to the south, and then Polk County, which is also to the south and is mainly a bedroom community, particular for the lower, I would say, lower class, lower status, however you want to say it, lower paid workers at Disney. So Polk County is very much where a lot of the Disney workers are. And the sheriff of Polk County, Grady Judd, has previously been and doing multiple operations to go after hard these predators that are lying in Polk County jurisdiction. And he is a no nonsense guy. Grady Judd has been a guy who's gone after this. He's publicly shamed these people as they should be and brought them to justice. But once again, one of the people he's arrested, and this is not the first time, he's done multiple operations. And when he's brought these people in, time after time after time, there are Disney employees. And that begs the question, what is the rat doing, or rather the mouse doing, to clean up their house? What is the mouse doing to make sure that they're hiring the right type of people and they're keeping them away from children? And this is part of the May operation, which they called May's Monsters, which involved 8 particular individuals that were arrested. I'll highlight them here, or rather shame them here, which is William Cuevas, Stephen Young, Jay Homuth, Reed Donaldson, David Sparks, Shane Osborne, Ryan Thomas, and Paul Veal. And Paul Veal will be the guy we're going to get to here today, who was a particular problem in this case. So what's been the issue here? The issue is that these folks were engaged in activity that was absolutely despicable. And I will let the sheriff over here, and I'm going to actually reshare this to make sure I got nice audio for you guys, but I'm going to let the sheriff explain exactly what this guy did and exactly why it is so reprehensible. So let's just listen to it from the words of Grady Judd.
From Davenport. He's married. He works at Disney World at Cosmic Rays Restaurant.
Okay, so there you go. You have a employee who's working at Disney in a restaurant, so having access, obviously, to close interaction with children.
In fact, he just recently moved to Polk County from Indiana, and he moved here specifically to work at Disney World.
I wonder why he moved to work at Disney World when he's arrested, when he's on charges of, well, you'll see what the charges are.
Well, you know, back in the day, they arrested Willie Sutton for robbing banks. He was a notorious bank robber. And they asked Willie Sutton, "Hey, Willie, why do you rob banks?" And he said, "Well, that's where the money is." Well, why do people like Paul Veal work at Disney? Because that's where the children are.
Oh boy. And this is the issue for Disney, is that is where the children are. And Disney has a duty to protect those children through strong background checks, through strong research, and through strong vetting of their employees, and only hiring those that they can trust to be in that position. However, we've seen that Disney has cared less and less and less about who they expose the children to, right? They've seen, obviously, we're seeing now as they have record low attendance, as they've announced drag shows, LGBT events, and whatnot during the next couple months. So they've seen people pulling out of Disney and park attendance at an all-time low in Florida, particularly as they also take political positions in this latest fight. So we're seeing that, look, they can't even clean up their own house, you know, and this is clearly a problem, is allowing folks like Paul Veal and allowing activities like they're allowing to exist. I think this is a problem. This is their duty to keep folks like this away from children, and anybody that can be a potentially negative or corrupting influence away from children.
And they want to be around children. He had 540 counts of child pornography, from newborn.
540 counts. This man had a record. Disney could have found that record. 540 counts? Are you kidding me? It's not one count. It's not back when he was 16. This guy had 540 counts. Are you serious?
To 8 years of age. He also had videos. And he was a sadomasochist. There was photographs where they had.
I believe it's sadomasochist, but Grady Judd's a Southerner, so maybe sadomasochism isn't said as much down there. But yeah, I mean that's a lot of stuff there. Now listen, I'm not judging people for their sexual preferences. That's their own private business. However, if it involves children, automatic go to jail, did not pass go, did not collect $300, okay, or $200, whatever it is. Inflation, right? We're going up to 300 in Monopoly.
Had tied up babies in preparation for sexual battery. There was one where a child was just weeks old where they had the child's hands tied behind her back. Can you believe that?
That's vile. That is truly vile. And by the way, I've had a warning on this one. This is obviously intense discussion, obviously in a law enforcement context, and clearly not supported any of this at all. This is completely vile, reprehensible, horrible behavior for which people should be arrested. They still deserve a fair trial, but however, I am in no doubt that they will get that conviction if that's what was on hand here.
A very young child with her hands tied behind her back. There's videos of a 3 to 6 month old being sexually battered by an adult male. His wife asked, she's only been married to him for a year, "Did I marry a monster?" Yes, you did. You married a monster. By the way, when we kicked the door in, he came to the door nude.
Well, that in and of itself wouldn't be a problem, except for the context, right? So the context is that this guy is somebody who's is committing these crimes and committing these vile acts and has this information, right? So when you put those two things together, it's a problem. I'm not going to knock anybody for being nude in their own house, but when he put it together with what he was looking at, yeah, that's a bad fact.
Think about this for a minute. Photographs of children bound up, some with their hands tied behind their backs. Infants.
So, and this is what Disney has on hand. So guys, this is really what I wanted to bring up in terms of Disney's employee problem, and they've had this problem for months. This is something they're trying to hide from the mainstream media. This is something that nobody is covering or people are not covering enough. It's something that comes up in Floridians, we hear about it locally, but I think not enough people hear about it on a national platform, that Disney has a serious problem here. Of all the issues they can be dealing with, fighting over, my free speech, which isn't even really free speech if you've been listening to legal arguments, that's the least of their worries. The mouse needs to clean its own house because its own house is incredibly vile. And I guarantee you, this is just one person in the system. There's more people applying every single day to work at Disney, some of which may have horrible backgrounds, like David Veal here. And it is on Disney's doorstep to keep monsters out of its workplace from having that influence and that interaction with children. That being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe on this video. I hope as we come to 400K that you guys have enjoyed my stuff and enjoyed the fact that I do research and will look into these things a little bit deeper than everybody else. Always appreciate all the comments and the love in the comments below, and I will catch you later. Peace.